So here we are in the last week of August. This is August 25th through the 31st. It's going to be an interesting week, you guys. We've been going through a lot of transformation. There's a lot of things that are coming to light. You are kind of really seeing what's good for you, what's not good for you, what you should adjust, how you can move forward. And this week is going to be more of that. It's kind of like revelations about the path that you want to move forward and how you might not need to course correct change, right? And let some things go and decide that maybe this path is not for you, right? So I would like you all to kind of be really open minded during this week because we are learning the arts of saying no, and I know better for myself. I accept and validate your belief systems. I appreciate what you want to tell me, but um I know what I want for myself. So just keep that in mind, in the back of your mind, the entire time this week. You don't need to get aggressive. You don't get to have to be confrontational. It's not about all that. It's all about just you creating healthy boundaries within yourself and saying yes or no to certain situations. Like always, if you want to go directly to the dates of the week, you can go to the description part below. I have the timestamps for that. And also, if you would like a consultation with me, the information to my website, which is the only way to make an appointment, is there. Let's start. So, Monday, Venus will be in Leo. This is an important time because Venus being in Leo is a period of time in which we're a little extra shiny. In other words, our words have weight because we sparkle a little extra. It is a great time if you're trying to do a pitch for a proposal for some kind of job. And it's also a great time if you are looking for a job, if you get really shiny, if you're really good at giving people compliments and being kind, you'll see that you're going to get a lot of movement forward with that. So keep that in mind when you're going through the process starting this Monday. You will be given this grace of, I want to say, the silver tongue until September 19th. I'm just verifying that. And yes, it looks like September 19th is what you're going to have this energy till. So, I guess take advantage of it while you can so that you can get people kind of like going in your direction. Another thing that we have here is the trine of Saturn in Aries. Um, there is something that is coming back into your life. This thing that is coming back into your life is structured and creates a lot of discipline. It creates a situation of authority. So, this I can see in two aspects, right? Where you are shining, you're strong, you're going out there and you're starting to become more disciplined and taking authority over your life so that you can put forth the positive face and bring forth whatever it is that you want. For example, if you're looking for a job, this is the time to do it because you are shiny and you're disciplined to go out there to fill out the resumes, to do the due diligence to make it happen. Now, if we were taking this in the negative aspect, because the world isn't just butterflies and rainbows, right? Another thing that you have to be mindful of is that Venus and Leo makes others have a silver tongue. And if that other that has a silver tongue is more in a darker energy, this person can negatively influence you. Then we have this energy of the trine of Saturn in Aries, in which might be a return of a situation, a person, a place, a thing, and that will try to put you back in a box. So, this is somebody that tells you something and convinces you with their silver tongue that you should enter into this contract with them, that you should sign these papers, that you should and get yourself involved with some kind of group. So, keep that in mind because not all of us are in the same, I want to say, timeline or the same situations. If you're finding yourself that you're easily persuaded and people are being extra nice and you want to say a lot of yeses to people in situations, take a pause and think about these yeses because they might not be for your greatest good. And then in the vice versa, if you need to sway people, this is the time to do it. So take it how it resonates. And I hope it benefits you and you use it for growth and expansion. Now we go to Tuesday. Tuesday the 26th, Venus will be still in Leo, which amplifies that energy of attractiveness, of shininess, of the silver tongue, again, until September 19th. Then we have a sextile. And this is really important for you to understand that sextiles, for me personally, um, are like a net that you cast out and you bring things towards you with it. And we have Uranus in Gemini, and then we have a trine in Neptune in Aries. Now, Neptune in Aries and in retrograde, right? So with Neptune and Aries in retrograde and that coming back and circling back to yourself, we're in this energy of, is this the life that I want for myself? Is this the direct trajectory that I want for myself? Do I need to adjust this idea that I have for my future? That's important aspect for you to understand. This is going to be the like underlying theme for the next 15 years. Like everything in front of you will be something that has to do with, does this make sense to the life that I want? Or do I need to change something? People, situations, mindsets, etc. Okay. That being said, the next thing that we have is the sextile with Uranus in Gemini. This energy is moving so fast. Uranus is fast. Gemini is fast. Both of them have to do with a lot of communication. That's connections. That's movements, like speaking to the right people, speaking to situations. This person's calling you. This text message is going here. You're starting this new project. You're going this other direction. It's like so it feels like wearing a lot of hats at the same time, and you're going to have to learn how to organize your mind and body and spirit so that you can like kind of get the work done, because you're going to be doing so many things at once. And so that's the second thing. So you're sending out like this net out to the world, knowing or unknowing, that is bringing towards you many different options at the same time and many different directions of the same time. Then the next thing we have is this energy of being very shiny. So it's like the reason all these things are coming towards you is because you're attracting them. There is a beacon that you're sending out saying, I am ready. I am ready to be seen. I am this person. It's the very big I am energy. And this I am energy is creating this net that is just drawing all these things towards you, because you're starting to see how the life of your that you want is starting to manifest, but also what you will have to adjust in your current life to make that come true. So it's all about adjustments. Adjustments to your reality, adjustments to your time, adjustments to your like mindsets, just so that you can make things flow the way that they're supposed to. But it is going to be going 100 million miles an hour in many different directions, that is going to grow and expand you in these directions that you're moving in. I feel like it's very positive, but it is very fast moving, and it can cause burnout and overwhelm. So be mindful about doing things that will keep you in check when it comes to those two things. Okay. So we get to Wednesday, the 27th. And then this is where the energy kind of shifts. And you either have the energy shift early in the week, or in that hump day, and there's always a shift. Okay. And in this case, we still have that Venus in Leo, but we have an opposition now. And the opposition is the thing that might be causing a little bit of friction. And the opposition is the Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Pluto in Aquarius is a strong indication that we're in that age of Aquarius, which is this evolution into defining your truest self. And you're shining, you're attracting things, you're doing all these kind of things. And now we have this opposition because we're having this questioning moment where we're thinking to ourselves, is this really me? Many of us go for careers, for jobs, for situations that we go for them because we feel like that's what is being expected of us. We feel like this is where we're going to have money. We feel like this is how we're going to have that life that we believe that we want going forward. And in this opposition, you have this, I want to say, internal little crisis where you're kind of thinking, am I really ready for this? Am I ready to go in this direction? Does this really look like me? Am I going to be able to do things? I have to say that this day is a really good day for you to center yourself, because the things that are coming up are actually shadow aspects of yourself. In other words, we're sending out, again, this energy of Venus and Leo sends out beacons, like energies. Hey, this is what I am. And then you attract that to you. And if the energy that you're emanating is one of doubt, you'll attract things that will confirm that doubt. For example, you are saying, I don't think I'm good enough for this position. And then all of a sudden you'll meet a person that's like, why are you trying for this position? You know, you're not good enough. And so you're going to get angry with the person, but it's a doubt that is inside of you that you need to heal. So anything that comes into your mind that creates an opposition to what your reality is or what you want to move towards, you'll probably see it resonating in the people around you. It's not true. It's for you to really go back inside yourself and give yourself those words of affirmation that this is for you, that you might be a little bit scared because it's new, because you're unsure, because of X, Y, and Z, right? But it is for you. So I need you to have that mindfulness during this time to not fall down that slippery slope, telling you that you are not good enough or that you're not ready or that this is not really you when it truly is. Okay? I hope this helps. All right, so now we get to Thursday, the 28th. The moon will enter Scorpio. Uranus will be in Gemini, and there's going to be a 6 points in Neptune in um, Aries. So back to Neptune and Aries, again, the retrograde energy, again, the I want to create the life that I want for my future. Okay. Is this aligned to my future? Am I presenting myself like who I truly am to the world that I'm supposed to be in? Is my life a representation of who I am and what I tell other people to do? That's the first and foremost. So you're casting out a net out in the world, because my sextiles are always for me like a safety net, like a net where you are saying, this is me. This is who I want to be. This is the life I want to attract. I'm casting it out and bringing towards me people, places, things, opportunities, and agencies that will help me create that reality that I want. That's always in the back burner. Okay. Next, we have this energy of the moon in Scorpio. Moon in Scorpio has to do with finances. It has to do with things that are hidden, subconscious things. It can be a very feelings energy, but a very like dark feeling energy sometimes when it's talking about the shadow aspects. It can talk about like what's happening in the economy and in the world that is affecting us, things like that. And with this energy of Uranus and Gemini, I love Uranus because it's all about change. Um, and communications of change. But sometimes when it links up with Gemini, it creates a hot freaking mess, because Gemini is fast, Uranus is fast. It's a lot of things happening at once. It can feel like, when you're juggling too many things at once and you're feeling like, holy shit, these things are going to fall off my hands. That's that energy. So first of all, there is this like lingering, I don't know how to tell you, but it's kind of feeling kind of weird about potentially something going on in the world when it comes to money, resources, etc., that is going to be a little sketch. Okay. That I feel like is a lingering thing that you might notice in the news and stuff, where you might have to adjust things in your future because of it, because it does look like something funny about money. All right. Um, but governments aside, worlds aside, let's take it back to the person, individual, ourselves. And what I'm seeing here is this energy where there might be things that are hidden and that are going to start getting communicated to you. There are going to be doubts that you might be unaware of that are going to come up. It feels very shadowy in the aspect where you're revealing to yourself many of your own doubts and fears, your own limitations, your own restrictions, the things you do within yourself that hold you back. And these times are a little bit scary when things like this kind of happen. It's a little bit scary because you don't know what to do with it, and they're the thing that freaks you out and freezes you up, right? But give yourself a breath, give yourself a moment to process these things that are coming up, and then slowly move in a direction that's going to help you to grow and to expand to what it is that you want for your future, right? So what I mean by that is we all get scared sometimes. We all have doubts about ourselves sometimes. We all beat ourselves up sometimes. I think sometimes we're our worst enemies when it comes to the changes that we want for our future. We all have that. And Acknowledging that and not ignoring that validates that fear and gives it its rightful place. It doesn't allow it to grow into something bigger than what it is. And so I would say that this day would be a really good day to take a breath, to take it easy, to try not to overdo things, to not overthink, to not over anything this day, because there is something happening, even if you're conscious of it or non-conscious of it. Because sometimes Scorpio happens a lot in our spiritual, and our subconscious. So, and these are like roadblocks that we've experienced before that are coming back and making us fearful for the future that we're moving into. So give yourself grace, give yourself a pause, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling because it's valid. It's memories. I want to see echoes of your past that still stayed lingering inside of you and that have negatively impacted you. But giving it its space allows it to move through you. Okay, so just be mindful of that. That Thursday does feel a little bit heavy, is the right words. Okay, hope this helps. Now we get to Friday the 29th. I mean, staying with the theme of denseness, let me say this, came from Wednesday. Friday just seems like the same thing. So we have the moon in Scorpio, which again is this energy of magic, of other people's problems, of subconscious um, doubts and fears and all that kind of stuff. And now we have a trine, which is a triangulation, something that comes back to us. And what's coming back to us is Jupiter in Cancer. Um, Jupiter is expansive, it's good luck, it's movement forward, etc., etc. Cancer has to do with your root chakra, those relationships that bind us, that creates as foundations. And so, what's coming back to you? It's an emotion um, that is growing regarding your desire for your future. And then you're confronting it with all the doubts and worries that you started having on Thursday. It's kind of like, like when you have this really dark cloud, is what I can tell you. Like it just looks like a really dark cloud. This is how they're showing it to me, okay? Like a really dark cloud. And then this return energy is like a little ray of light that shines down in that cloud, kind of just like a little beam. And you can still see the darkness, but you can still see a little bit of light passing through it. And the reason why it's happening, it's like that silver lining. That's what I'm feeling with this Jupiter in Cancer. It's heavy because it's a continuation from the energy that came from Thursday coming into Friday. But there's a silver lining. And the silver lining is this, but I know I'm supposed to be this person, but I know I'm supposed to connect with these people, but I know that my foundation that I'm wanting to expand into is positive, it's good, it's going to help me bring what I want. So it's kind of like heavy, not heavy because it is still heavy because you're still carrying the stuff from Thursday and it's still manifesting and it's still worrisome, but it's this energy of, but I'm more. But I am taking myself out of where I was and I'm replanting myself into where I am. And here I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the effort. I'm going to do the energy required so I can fulfill that destiny that I want for my future. So it's kind of like you making a new, I want to say these are the universe, God, the stars are giving you a positive affirmation, right? You're in the darkness, you're in the hole, you're feeling bad about yourself, you're not sure about the direction you're going through, and then all of a sudden, like magic, um, the universe lines up to show you, but you got this. I am fulfilled. I am strong. I am obtaining what it is that I want for my future. I take actions every single day to be that person that I'm supposed to be. I I open doors to people that are going to help me in my expansion in my future. I allow the changes, the positive changes of the universe to fall upon my soul. And so for me, I would say this is really good for you to keep in mind that you will always have that save. You will always have to come back to that light that is within you and that assurance that your life is worth it, your growth is worth it, your changes are worth it, and you will become who you know you are. So, um, I mean, it's a good bad energy because it's still lingering of the other day, but it is something where you get that silver lining. So take advantage of the silver lining and try to amplify it. I would say if it's just a little light shining through the thing, I need to make that light get bigger. So let me go for walks. Let me talk to people that will fill my cup. Let me go for a massage. Let me take a moment to go to the ocean or river and wet my feet. Let me speak grace into my life, have positive affirmations, fill my cup with something that will make me joyous. And you'll see the shifts that happens when you do that. I hope this helps. So now we get to Saturday the 30th, and the moon enters the sign of Sagittarius, and we have a trine in Saturn and Aries. Now, the trine in Saturn and Aries, we had it. I'm just double checking here. Um, we had it on Monday, so we're like, I want to say it's a return of the energy of Monday, but with the added moon in Sagittarius. The moon in Sagittarius is kind of like we just had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that were kind of heavy. They're kind of heavy because the shadow aspect of ourselves, the dark aspect, something, our doubts, our fears, our worries, the world, anyways, things like that were just kind of being sketch. And it made us doubt ourselves. It made us doubt our actions. It made us doubt the movement that we want going forward. But then we took that moment to validate those thoughts. We took that moment to think about those thoughts, to move them forward. And then we got to the point now on this moon going in Saturn, Sagittarius, kind of, now we're like, okay, let's focus. Saturn, Sagittarius, I keep wanting to call it Saturn, sorry. Sagittarius is all about like focusing your arrow in the direction that is for your greatest good. In other words, putting those blinders on and said, I just said that this is the person that I am, and I'm not going to let myself be distracted by anything else. And we're going to focus on this. Now, trine, the return of the Saturn and Aries energy. What is the return of Saturn and Aries energy? It can be positive and negative. The return of discipline, the return of authority, the return of movement forward. It can be all these energies where, because I don't believe Saturn is necessarily a bad thing at all times. It is, sometimes we need structure, sometimes we need like discipline, and we need like contracts and agreements with ourselves and with people around us so that we can move in the direction that we need for our greatest good. I understand. Um, so if we're taking this energy in the positive, we're like focused, determined, doing this. Okay, I gave myself the grace of those 3 days to be in that ugly, dark energy of negativity. And now I'm going to get myself back on the ball and move in the direction that I need. Now, if we're taking this the other way, because not all of us are in the same vibration, right? Let's talk about how this can affect somebody. The energy of Sagittarius can be flighty, can be like undetermined, it can run away from situations because they don't want to feel restricted, limited, etc., etc., etc. So, and with this trine energy of Saturn in Aries, if you want to run away from something because you're fearful of feeling caged and limited and blah, 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 right? Then the cage will feel bigger and more restricting and more limiting. And you will feel like, I just want to run away from this even faster. So you might have people expressing negativity, and this is hitting home really hard, negativity and doubtfulness and restrictions because they're scared of the commitments that are required for the direction that they're going in their lives. So when you're engaging with people, you'll see two types of people: the ones that are ready to do this, that are determined, that are going to move in the one direction. And then you're going to see the other type of people, the ones that are running away, giving excuses, saying that the problem is the people around them, that they're absolutely no, blah, 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 all this stuff, and they're swaying away. So it's two energies, and one person can even manifest both. Okay. I think these are all products of change because, you have that let's do this energy for some people. And then you have the I'm scared to do this because I've done this before and I've gotten burned. So keep that in mind when it comes to this energy. Give yourself grace, give others grace, especially, we can manifest these and different aspects of our lives. Like we can be very determined and direct and whatever when it comes to, let's say, work. But then a relationship comes around, like a new friend or a new business partner or a new a relationship partner, right? And then we start creating this I don't want to be caged. I don't want to be limited. I don't want to be this, even though you've been asking the universe for it for a long time. So keep that in mind. It feels positive, but it does give me like freaky energy too, because you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm not sure if I want to get stuck in that contract and agreement for the rest of my life. Just know everything is cyclical and you don't have to be bound to everything for forever. Okay. I hope this helps. And now we get to Sunday. Sunday the 31st. The moon will be in Sagittarius still very direct, still very determined, still very movement forward, progressive energy. And then we have the return of the Venus in Leo. I mean, it's always been around because, like I said, it's going to be around till I think the 16th or the 19th, something like that, of September. But now it's coming like really shiny and affecting this energy of the moon in Sagittarius. Now, if you saw the reading from the day before, you'll know that this moon in Sagittarius is going to make you direct, determined, kind of focus in a goal, right? And if we do this trine energy of Venus in Leo, the good news is that I want to say the mindsets or the people or the situations that are making you feel that Saturn and Aries energy where you're stuck in a cage or limited or tied down or you have an authority figure over your head, that energy goes away as Venus enters Leo, which makes you perceive that everything's going to be just fine. You're going to be able to move forward. You will be able to work through this situation, work through these people, like kind of feng shui your way out of any kind of problems that might arise. So this is like a complete shift because it does feel fun and active and positive um, and I want to say showboaty. I don't know why I feel that way, but there's a lot of fire on this, okay? Because we have the fire of Sagittarius with the fire of Leo. Those two kind of like really work with each other well. So keep that in mind. It's kind of like one of these like direct shininess that you can put in a direction now. And then we have Venus that has to do with your passions, your ambitions. Now that's more watery, but it's more of a fire watery, like hot water, right? And so all of it will help you grow your connections, speak your mind, move in the positive direction. I feel like Wednesday did something to the collective where it was very oppressive. And then Saturday and Sunday is kind of helping us move out of there to prepare us for the new month of September, where eclipses are happening and there's going to be bigger shifts because when eclipse happens, things phase out. Okay. And one of the things I'm hoping that phases out is this energy of um, I want to say self doubt first. And secondly, this energy of being in contracts and agreements is super bad. I'm not saying that all of them are good, but some of them are necessary for us to achieve goals, to move in directions, and to expand. Okay. I hope this helps you.